Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims. You're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I had to do that for my mama. Hopefully that was good enough for your ma. But anywho, let's not waste any time, people. Let's get into it. Today is May 21st, 2020. And today I want to talk about the keys. Yes, the keys to the kingdom in particular, but yes, here we go. So in Matthew 16, 13 through 20, Jesus basically has a conversation with his disciples, and, first he asked them, what do the people say, or who do the people say that he is, and they, gave their answers, and then he asked them, who do they say he is, and that's when Peter answered that he is the Messiah. And so, so then Jesus told him in verse 19, I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. So, I don't know, I guess I started to wonder, was this gift specifically for Peter? And, what does this mean for us and for everyone, right? So, basically in the Old and New Testament, the keys, or keys in particular, symbolize power and authority. And, there are several verses throughout the Bible that uses such a theme, such as Isaiah 22 and 22, which is basically referring to the key of the house of David. And then in Revelations 1 and 18, where Christ has the key to death and Hades. So I'm sure you guys can do your own research and go deeper when it comes to that and the whole theme of keys and checking all those verses out for your hearts, minds, and souls. But I guess I'll answer a couple of little questions from earlier. So again, this idea of authority, at the end of the day, is not only for Peter, but it has been extended to the church as well. So that basically means that when we follow Christ, we can be confident that the actions of binding and loosing, they're basically extensions of what God is doing in heaven. So, at the end of the day, this authority, it pretty much rests in the gospel. Basically in Galatians 1, 6 through 9, Paul warns us that, if anyone is going to teach any other gospel, including angels, he said if angels for heaven, if anybody is preaching another gospel, that they are cursed. So, it's a very, very serious authority to have, I guess, so yeah, I gotta be mindful of that. And it's very interesting that, Lord, I will say when I read that this morning, it did pretty much make me think of one particular account in history. Oh Lord. Fine, you want me to say it, Lord? Okay, fine, I'll go ahead and say it. Basically, it reminds me of other religions out there, and the way they say they got their religions and everything like that. It's like, yeah, according to this right here, you might want to watch yourselves with that information, because if you out here preaching another gospel or saying something that ain't in the Bible about the gospel, you's cursed according to what Galatians 1 through 1, 6 through 9. So that's it might be a little touchy, but that's Bible. That ain't miracle saying something. That's Bible. But anywho, these are my notifications reminding me that I gotta post the juice, and I'm getting on it. Apologize about that, friends. But anywho, but then, we have to even remind ourselves that there was even a moment where Paul, in and this is in Galatians 2:14, if you want to take a look at that. But basically, Paul publicly rebuked the same Peter, right? The same Peter publicly rebuked him when he, wasn't in line with the truth of the gospel. So again, we can't sit here and just think that, Peter was just this, this whole idea of the keys. And although Jesus was talking to Peter, when he said that verse earlier, this isn't something that is just unique to Peter. This is something that we all have as believers in Christ, friends. So I guess the thing is, one thing I want you all to remember today is that the keys of the kingdom is God's gift to his people. Now, this might be a little touchy as well. This might be some pop for some of you, and it might be some good old juice for some of the rest of us, right? But dare I say that this gift gives us the authority to state heaven's verdicts on who will and will not enter the kingdom, and based on their response to the gospel. So, I know this is a bit touchy. This is a bit touchy. People don't want you to condemn them, or people don't want you to say, I would quickly let people know that I don't have a heaven or hell to put them in, as they say. However, with the authority of Christ, by these keys that was given to us, if we're out here faithfully preaching and teaching the gospel, and exercising under the authority of Jesus Christ himself, then, that does give certain authority to state certain verdicts based on, again, the response of the individual to the gospel, as well as what the Bible has to say about that. So, again, I know that can be touchy and deep, and maybe we all need some time with that. Let that marinate. But yep, we'll go ahead and give you some time to do that. And let's get into the Bible verse of today. Okay, so that's John 14:1. It says, "Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me." Well, friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. It's short and sweet, to the point. I just think we need to get out there and, exercise this gift that we have, friends. God giving us this authority, to, go out here and share the gospel. And when you do that, understand that you're operating under, the authority of Jesus. And so, now don't just get willy-nilly now. If you start preaching something that ain't Jesus and ain't gospel, then, I don't know. I can't say that that's right. But what I'm saying is, if you are, then you can rest assured that, you'll be backed up by the word of God, and God's got you, you have the authority, as they say. So, friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.